In this video, we're covering Student Loans 101. Millions of Americans have student loan debt, so you're not alone. We'll walk through the basics of student loans. Just a quick introduction, I'm Erika Kullberg. I graduated from law school with over $200,000 of student loans, refinanced my student loans with SoFi, paid them off, and now I'm on a mission to help others take control of their student loans. Diving in, there are two main types of student loans: private student loans and federal ones. We'll compare and contrast some of the more popular features of both private and federal student loans and explore some features that can help you determine what makes the most sense for your financial situation. First, let's start by talking about federal student loans. Federal student loans are funded by the federal government, and in order to qualify, you have to fill out a free application for federal student aid, FAFSA, every single year that you want to receive federal student loans. Keep in mind that federal student aid, which includes not just federal student loans, but grants and federal work study, is determined on a rolling basis. So the sooner you can apply, the sooner you may qualify. Federal loans can be subsidized or unsubsidized. If you're an undergraduate student and you have a certain level of financial need, you may qualify for a subsidized loan. The amount and types of federal aid you will qualify for will be determined by your school based on the cost of attendance. They'll also determine how much you should receive in subsidized loans, if any. If you are granted a subsidized student loan, that means the U.S. government will cover or subsidize the cost of accrued interest on the loan while you are a full or half-time student. Your interest payments are also covered with subsidized loans during the 6-month grace period after graduation, as well as during any periods of loan deferment. You can watch this video to learn what a grace period and deferment means. If you receive unsubsidized federal loans, you won't need to demonstrate financial need when applying, and as with subsidized loans, your school will determine the amount you can receive, again based on what it will cost you to attend. But with unsubsidized loans, you of course are responsible for the principal amount of the loan, but you're also responsible for any interest that accrues throughout the life of the loan, starting from the moment it's fully disbursed. Another source of federal student loan funding is what's called Direct Plus loans. This includes Grad Plus loans and Parent Plus loans. To qualify for Graduate Plus loans, you need to be a student in a program that offers graduate or professional degrees or certifications and be attending college at least half-time. Parents can apply for a Parent Plus loan if they're the parent of a dependent undergraduate student attending an eligible school at least half-time. Keep in mind that for any Direct Plus loan, you can't have an adverse credit history. I'll quickly run through some of the benefits of federal student loans. 1, you won't be responsible for making student loan payments while you're actively enrolled in school. Your repayment will typically begin after you graduate, leave school, or are enrolled less than half-time. Don't forget though, interest on unsubsidized loans starts accruing immediately. 2, interest rates on federal student loans made after July 1st, 2006 are fixed and are typically lower than interest rates on private student loans. Number 3, depending on the type of federal loans you have, the interest you pay could be tax deductible. 4, aside from Direct Plus loans, credit history doesn't factor into a federal loan application. Number 5, when it comes to federal student loan repayment, there are several options to choose from, including several income-driven repayment plans, which can mean that your monthly student loan payment gets adjusted based on your discretionary income and family size. 6, if you run into difficulty repaying your federal student loans after graduation or when you drop below half-time enrollment, there are deferment and forbearance options available. I talk about these more in detail in this video, but essentially, if you qualify due to things like financial hardship, these programs allow you to temporarily pause payments on your loans. And number 7, Qualifying federal student loan borrowers can also enroll in certain forgiveness programs, such as public service loan forgiveness. But these programs do have strict requirements, so make sure you review the program details closely if you're interested in these forgiveness programs. Now that we've covered federal loans and the benefits, let's talk about private student loans. Private student loans are not funded by the government. To apply for them, you can check with individual lenders like banks or credit unions, with the college or university you'll be attending, or state loan agencies. Since private student loans are not offered by the federal government, their terms and conditions, including repayment terms and benefits, vary from lender to lender. So when applying for private student loans, it's important to clearly understand annual percentage rates, fees, and repayment terms before signing, as well as the differences between private versus federal student loans. Some private loans require payments while you're still attending college. And another thing to note is that when applying for a private loan, the lender typically reviews your financial history and credit score, which means for many college students, it may be beneficial to have a cosigner. Again, just be sure to understand what you're agreeing to with these private loans. A few questions you'll want to ask are, what is the annual percentage rate? Is the interest rate fixed or variable? This video here will walk you through the difference between fixed and variable, and if the answer is variable, it's a good idea to check to see how often the interest rate can change, plus how much it can change each time, and what the maximum interest rate can be. Also, ask, what are the repayment options? What are the deferment or forbearance options? Now that you understand the basics of student loans, let me know if you have any questions by leaving a comment below, and I'll see you next in this video where we talk about some tips for actually paying off your student loans.